The Joker, DC Comics. For most people, pain is a warning. For the Joker, it's a punchline. He didn't just shoot Barbara Gordon, he stripped her naked, photographed her bleeding body, and showed the pictures to her father. Commissioner Gordon was then stripped, chained, and dragged through a carnival of horrors to break his mind. All because the Joker thought it would be funny. When he caught Jason Todd, Batman's young partner, he didn't simply kill him. He beat the boy with a crowbar, blow after blow, filming every broken bone, every splatter of blood, then left him with his mother and a ticking bomb. Their final moments together were counting down to death. He poisoned Gotham's water supply, leaving victims with their faces frozen in grotesque smiles as they died in agony. The hospitals filled with corpses locked in eternal laughter. In one universe, he drugged Superman, made him kill his pregnant wife, Lois Lane, thinking she was a monster, then detonated a nuclear bomb in Metropolis. Millions dead because the Joker wanted to see Superman break. He keeps Batman alive not out of respect, but because watching someone struggle against inevitable corruption is his favorite form of entertainment. He doesn't want to end the game. He wants to watch hope die slowly. Darth Vader, Star Wars. He walks into the Jedi Temple. The younglings beg for mercy. His lightsaber ignites. The begging stops. Children cut down without hesitation. Former friends hunted across the galaxy. He strangles officers for single failures. Replacements step over bodies without comment. The Princess of Alderaan watches her planet shatter. 2 billion voices cry out in terror, then silence. Vader feels nothing. He tortures his daughter without knowing. Slices off his son's hand without flinching. Family means nothing, only power. He enters rebel ships like death itself. Bodies fly, necks snap, blaster bolts return to their owners. The corridor becomes a slaughterhouse. A village stands against him. Hours later, nothing stands at all. Sand stained red, bodies burned, no survivors to tell the story. For 23 years, his breathing is the last sound countless beings hear, a mechanical rhythm followed by absolute silence. The Empire's executioner doesn't speak. He doesn't gloat. He simply ends you. Homelander, the boys. He hears a plane in distress, flies up, looks inside, sees terrified faces, waves, leaves them to die. A fan approaches too quickly. His eyes glow red. A mother has to explain to her children why daddy isn't coming home. During a sexual encounter, he crushes a woman's pelvis to dust when he loses control. The cleanup team arrives within minutes. No questions asked, no records kept. A blind man can sense what Homelander truly is, so Homelander drops him from 30,000 feet. The sound of impact amuses him. He discovers his son, threatens to drop him from the sky if the boy doesn't love him back. Parental affection mixed with casual promises of murder. When the company considers replacing him, he masturbates atop a skyscraper, whispering, "I can do whatever I want." And he does, because no one can stop him. A baby uses laser vision accidentally. Homelander smiles, then suggests killing everyone in the hospital to keep it quiet, not as a joke, as a solution. His smile never reaches his eyes. His charity is performative. His heroism is theater. And when the cameras turn away, people die. Thanos, Marvel, a coin flip. That's all it is. Half live, half die. It's fair, he says. It's necessary, he believes. And he makes it happen. He arrives on Gamora's world when she's a child, separates the population into two groups, executes one half while the other watches, takes a child from the survivors as a trophy. The collection of Infinity Stones isn't a quest. It's an equation. Each stone costs something. Power costs Xandar billions of lives. Time costs the Sorcerer Supreme his life. Soul costs Thanos his daughter, thrown screaming from a cliff. When Vision begs for mercy, Thanos simply checks his watch, rips the Mind Stone from the android's head, discards the empty shell. Thor's people survived Ragnarok. They escaped their world's destruction. Thanos intercepts their ship. Only half are meant to survive. He ensures none do. The snap isn't impulsive. It's calculated. Trillions across the universe watch loved ones disintegrate. Children reach for parents who turn to dust. The universe screams in unison. When his work is done, he sits and watches the sunrise. Content, at peace. Half the universe is dead and he sleeps well. Griffith, Berserk. They followed him. They bled for him. They died for him. And in the end, he gave them up for power. Not some, not most, all of them. The eclipse begins with his choice. Surrounded by demons, he looks at his comrades, men and women who fought for his dream. The God Hand offers him apotheosis. The cost? Everyone he led. His answer? I sacrifice. The brand of sacrifice burns into their flesh. The sky turns red. Demons descend not to kill them, but to feed on them. Slowly, painfully. The mercenaries who called him friend are torn apart, devoured while still conscious. Guts fights through the horde, reaches Griffith, believes his commander, his friend, made a mistake. But Griffith, now Femto, feels nothing for him, nothing but contempt. Casca, Griffith's loyal soldier, is brutalized by the demons. Then Griffith takes her himself, forces Guts to watch as he violates her body and mind, ensures eye contact throughout, not from passion or desire, but to make a point. Everything Guts loves now belongs to him. When it ends, Griffith emerges reborn, godlike, beautiful. Casca emerges broken. her mind shattered. Guts emerges bleeding, one eye gone, one arm gone, but burning with a hatred that will never die. Years later, Griffith creates a utopia. The people worship him. They never see the mountain of corpses his white wings rest upon. Johan Liebert, monster. Johan doesn't need weapons. He doesn't need armies. He just needs a whisper, a suggestion, and suddenly a man picks up a gun, and suddenly a city burns. An orphanage director hangs himself after Johan's visit. No threats, no violence, just a conversation about the man's life, about his failures, about how meaningless everything is. A successful businessman adopts Johan. 3 weeks later, he kills his wife and daughter before turning the gun on himself. Johan watches from the doorway, unmoved. He discovers a man with buried sadistic urges, befriends him, mentions specific children who wouldn't be missed. 5 bodies are discovered. Johan is already gone. An entire apartment complex falls to violence. Neighbor killing neighbor. The police find no connection, no reason. Just Johan's fingerprints in every apartment. Not hidden. Left deliberately. He doesn't create monsters, he unveils them, peels back society's veneer to reveal what's always been underneath. A child points a gun at his sister because Johan suggested it would be interesting. The only thing all humans are equal in is death, he says, before walking into a building. When he leaves, 46 people have killed either themselves or others. He never touched any of them. Dio Brando, JoJo's bizarre adventure. Most villains end when they die. Dio doesn't. He keeps going, long after his own destruction. Jonathan's body? He stole it? The Joestar bloodline? He tormented it for centuries. The world itself? He tried to rewrite it in his image. His first act of cruelty wasn't grand, it was personal. He killed Jonathan Joestar's dog by burning it alive in an incinerator. Watched through the grate as the animal screamed. When a woman refused his advances, he turned her into a vampire. Forced her to consume her own baby. Watched as humanity drained from her eyes, replaced by monstrous hunger. Jonathan defeats him, seemingly ending his evil. But Dio decapitates himself, preserves his head, attaches it to Jonathan's body while his friend's widow holds their infant son on a sinking ship. The family barely escapes. A century passes. Dio resurfaces. He discovers the power to stop time itself, uses it to impale a teenager through the chest, to dismember a young man in Egypt, to throw a road roller onto a high schooler, crushing him while time stands still. His children carry his legacy. One accelerates time itself until the universe collapses and reforms. Another steals memories, identities, even physical capabilities, leaving husks of people behind. His final words remain his philosophy. I reject my humanity, not as a moment of desperation, but as his proudest achievement. William Afton, 5 Nights at Freddy's. The kids disappeared. He made sure of that, but he didn't just kill them. He trapped them, stuck them inside cold, metal suits, and then the screams began. 5 children lured to the back room of a pizzeria. A man in a cartoon rabbit suit. A friendly face, a familiar character. They follow without question. The door locks behind them. The smile drops. The knife comes out. Hours later, 5 mascot suits have new fillings. The mechanical parts crush against flesh. Bones snap, eyes pop. But something strange happens. The children don't leave. Years pass. The restaurant changes owners. Names change. Locations change. But children keep disappearing. A pattern emerges. Always 5. Always near those same animatronic characters. Afton dies eventually. Cornered by the spirits of his victims, he panics. Hides inside the same rabbit suit he used to kill them. The spring locks fail. Metal components pierce his organs, his eyes, his throat. He dies in agony. But death isn't the end. The suit rots. His corpse rots. But he remains. Springtrap walks again, burns in a fire, returns, is dismembered, returns, is burned again, returns. His final creation allows him to possess others through computer code, a digital ghost spreading like a virus. Children still disappear, metal still screams. The nightmare never ends. I always come back, he promises. And he does, again and again and again.
Subscribe for more interesting stuff. Tell us your experience in the comments.